Well, hello, welcome to your mid-January 2023 reading. Today we're going to do a reading for the sign of Scorpio. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. Glad to see you back. We're going to open it up with a general inquiry. What message does Scorpio need to hear for mid-January 2023? What message does Scorpio need to hear? Please help me tap into the energy of Scorpio for mid-January 2023. And I don't think I mentioned, this is Tarot to a T. I don't think I mentioned my channel. That's weird. I don't think I've ever done that. Anyway. We have a message coming out here for Scorpio. We don't need half the deck though. And then cards of advice, then we'll just jump right into it. I don't like to beat around the bush. I like just to kind of get into it, you know. Wow, that one flipped, so I'm taking it. I just pulled that out. Flipped back into the deck, but it was upside down. It's a very, very, very strong sign for me that we need to pull that card. Just a couple more cards here. Okay, let's do it, Scorpio. I'm ready. Ten of Hearts. Very nice start here to the mid-January. It looks like you might have wrapped up a major chapter in your life, ending a major cycle that resulted in some happiness, celebration, spending time with friends. It really is the ultimate happiness card, so we definitely need to uncover more cards before we talk more about that. Well, it may have something to do with this new start. The Ace of Diamonds is a desire to begin a journey to increase your income, or to acquire income or finances or assets in some manner. But it's like you're at the beginning of a journey. That's interesting that you have this completion that has to do more with satisfaction and happiness. And this is talking about, yeah, I want more of, abundance around you. Very interesting start. For your hearts. So this is the third party card. I don't always... Actually, typically I don't like to read this as romantic. I just see it as your heart being pulled in two different directions. So you're in the midst of some kind of decision. It could have something to do with this new start. Perhaps like how to go about increasing your net worth, your income, your wealth. Getting a more steady stream of income coming your way. Finances. It could be around investments. But nonetheless, you're being pulled in two different directions, and it's a bit of an emotional decision, hence the hearts involved. The Jack of Hearts, interesting. So you have your heart open, or you've met a younger water sign. This could be, this could be you, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. I also tend to see this as the card of vulnerability. We have our heart open. So we're obviously feeling less guarded and not needing to protect ourselves, as sternly as maybe we did in the past, especially after a situation where we were hurt. Again, it could be a younger water sign. It could be you kind of going off in a new direction. And I kind of see that, honestly, with the Ten of Hearts. I mean, that could definitely, if you've completed something here, it's led to great happiness. You're probably feeling very positive, optimistic, looking forward to the future, that kind of thing. So your heart definitely would be open to that. You also have the Jack of Diamonds, could be dealing with a younger earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. It also has to do with inexperience in the sector of finances. Again, interesting, we have a start in a new financial direction, and this could indicate an experience in not knowing how to deal with perhaps some wealth that you have come upon. We haven't turned any cards over that have told me you've run into a windfall, but that certainly could be the situation, and hence would lead to some decisions that have to be made, and not just just not feeling like you're in familiar territory, brand new to it. What other cards can you offer me to tell me more about Scorpio's situation? The weird thing about the cards, they're shuffling in a very strange way. It could be there's a lot of rain going on. It's humid here. Maybe they're sticking. They're kind of shuffling in clumps. Don't usually have that happen. I live in a pretty dry environment, but we do have a lot of rain today. One of those big West Coast storms. Nine of Hearts. Again, a completion that tells me that you achieve some kind of wish fulfillment on some kind of deep level. You're feeling very satisfied, very content with the outcome. I'm not seeing much of a picture here of what this involves, but I'm just going to have to go with that. You have you've achieved some kind of great happiness, and congratulations. Whatever it was, it's like something maybe you worked towards, that you've been looking forward to for a while. Okay, cards. Okay, maybe that'll help a little bit. Kind of break them up a little bit. Very interesting. Very interesting shuffling action. There we go. They're still not really cooperating, but I just have to go with it. Have to trust it. Here we go. Another new start at Ace of Clubs. This could have a lot to do with the new start in finance, because this is about acquiring new information, skills, perhaps changing careers, and just kind of having or wanting to go in a new direction. I tend to think it's more that you want to, not that you're being forced to. This is almost the picture of somebody who's like worked hard towards a goal that fulfilled on a deep level, and perhaps now that that's complete, and I'm thinking financial, I'm thinking like a business venture, it's like you're like, okay, I've done that, what's next? And that's why we have all the new starts out here. But I think it brought some kind of opportunities. Maybe not wealth necessarily, but opportunities. And you have your heart open to new opportunities here. It's like you've been released. I'm sensing you've been released from something. 3 of Diamonds. Again, another 3. Again, there's confusion around money with this. Sometimes this has to do with partnerships. Like you're in a partnership with somebody, a relationship, whatnot. And there's confusion around money, perhaps around budgeting, who gets to control it, that kind of thing. Or it could just be, again, I'm picking up more like money decisions, financial decisions. I do think you've come into some wealth, we just haven't seen that yet. This is the entrepreneurial card. So yeah, I think you did. Okay, this actually clears it up quite a bit. Entrepreneurial pursuit, a lot of time, effort, energy gone into something that really paid off, and now you're seeing the returns on that. So yeah, you're like sitting pretty. You're one of those people who you've been working on something a long time, like a YouTube channel, for example. I'm just sensing something online, social media, and now you have like all this freedom, like to go in a new direction, to make it grow, to pursue perhaps something completely different. It's going to even be more exciting for you. That's great with the 8 of Diamonds. Yeah, I'm speaking to a Scorpio who has finally made it, more or less, on their own. Queen of Clubs. Could be dealing with a bit of an authority figure here. This is a fire sign energy, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. You could have this in your chart. I tend to think this is someone around you, though. Doesn't have to be female. The Queen is just an authority and a power that's just less dominant than a king. So perhaps you look at them this way, somebody you really look up to, admire. Nonetheless, she does have great guidance and support to offer you. She can be very generous with her time and energy. I mean, this could be kind of the position that you're embodying now. You could have fire in your chart, and so now you've really come into that energy. You know what I mean? Like maybe you've never really felt that you've had that kind of power, and now you do. The authority that comes with that. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Queen of Hearts, Three of Spades. So the Queen of Hearts, again, is kind of that power authority, that gentle power authority. But there's also a nurturing side to that Queen of Hearts. Also a water energy, again, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. But with the Three of Spades, it's a very dualistic energy we have with both these cards together, because the Three of Spades is about worry, not feeling so confident about things. I mean, it's causing like stress, because the worry is like, it's put you in this very uncomfortable place. You could be uncomfortable with your newfound power or authority. I tend to focus on, with the Queen of Hearts, the nurturing side of it, though. Like, you're worried that you're not giving yourself enough attention, perhaps, because often I see the Queen of Hearts as like, we need to nurture ourselves, we need to take care of ourselves, you know, not spread ourselves too thin, overwork. And if you're really driven to achieve something, I know that you could fall into that trap of not taking care of yourself, because that Three of Spades would certainly indicate that. The King of Hearts has now come out, and the King, just like that Queen, again, very strong water energy, very much more dominant, controlling. I kind of see this as a message you need to kind of take control. I do see this as a message for you, not people around you. You need to take control of this emotional state, your emotional state, your emotions in general. There's something that you're neglecting. Because this is the cards of advice up here. This is how I bring my messages out. And when I see this up here, yeah, it could be a person. It's kind of a fatherly energy. So it's like, yeah, the nurturing part needs to happen, but you also need to kind of be firm and take control, like the father figure, which is, again, very loving. I mean, let's not say that the fathers aren't loving. They are, but there's a firmness about it. Like, you must do this. It's for your own good, kind of thing. Four of Spades, I see this leading. So if you take this stance here and kind of embrace this King energy, that the Four of Spades is about coming out of a period of stress and experiencing stress relief. So this is showing me there's some cracks in your home life, your lifestyle. I think there's been a certain degree of neglect because you've been driven and now you've achieved this. You're kind of sitting on top of the pinnacle here, the mountain. You can do this. You can bring balance back to your home life. I don't know what this entails. This is just giving me a little snapshot, so take it how it fits your situation. But this will bring you a degree of stress relief, I believe, if you take on this more firmly. It's kind of like setting yourself down in a corner and having a talk with yourself and saying, you got to do this. There's no choice anymore. You know, I think we all come to points like that in our lives where we just got to slap ourselves. And I'm not advocating violence, and just metaphorically just kind of sit ourselves down and say, hey, what the hell are you doing? You know better. Or you know that you've been needing to take care of this for a while. Five of Clubs. Yeah, changes that need to happen. Yep. Okay, I got it. The message came through. Changes that need to happen. This is the card of renovations, being stuck in a routine, being stagnant in some way, things not moving, and a desperate need for changes. A desperate need for changes. So, again, the very strong energy with the King of Hearts. You've been neglecting yourself in some way, Scorpio. You're being asked to step up right here. And you are a water sign, so that's not out. That's something you're very capable of. That's what I'm trying to say there. Any more cards of advice for Scorpio for mid-January? It's actually not a bad way to start the beginning of this year. If you worked all last year for this ultimate happiness, this achievement, now it's time to take care of you. Yeah, here's the card of overwork. What was I just saying? Causing physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress, just things not being healthy. The card really screams about overwork, but it also screams louder that you need to take a break. You got to give. You got to release the stress somehow. Yeah. Look how the cards are like smooth now. It's like all that energy was like tied up into this deck, and it just wouldn't shuffle. You were kind of watching me struggle. Now it's nice and smooth. That doesn't even make any sense. How could it change in a few minutes? It has to be that, that energy that I don't know. I've never had that happen, so I'm kind of marveling at it. So please excuse me on that. The Three of Clubs. Again, there's a decision to be made because there's some fight and struggle. So I think you're struggling probably to come to terms with what you need to do. It's kind of, just as an analogy, I'm not saying this is what's happening with you, like the person who's struggling to go into rehab because they know they have a drug problem or an alcohol problem or some other kind of addiction. And there's an inner struggle and fight. It's not like you just one day wake up and say, yeah, I'm done. I think it does happen with some people that way. I think you're resisting this change, and I think it has a lot to do with focusing on work too much in some manner. Now it has paid off. That's the other side of things, right? But I think you've really neglected yourself. Wow. This message wasn't real clear in the beginning, but it certainly is now. And there's a lot of things that are unsettled here with this Joker. This is the black and white Joker, so it's also the full energy of the full energy. Some people see this as a new start because you're kind of starting at square one. The fool that knows nothing. I also tend to look at it as the fool who is in the dark, in the sense that they don't know how this is going to change your life. You can't see around the corner. You don't have a crystal ball. And so we all are kind of the fool at some point in our life, if not all the time. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know, what lies down the road. And I would not look at that in an ominous sense. I would look at that in a more positive sense of, the changes that you make, the reverberations, the ripple effects of that are unknown to you. All you're focusing on is the changes you have to make, but I think the changes can be very positive, especially if you split up. This is the division. Usually this has to do with people. I don't think we're talking about a person here. I think this is a division between you and a habit. Only you know what that habit is and how it's detrimental to your life. If you notice down here we have all this very positive. The red cards are all very positive. These black cards tend to deal with more heavy energy. Not that they're negative, it's just that this is where some difficulties come into play, right? The only two cards we have up here are the Queen of Hearts and the King of Hearts. Queen is the mother, the King is the father. It's about self-parenting. like I said, kind of forcing yourself into this self-care mode. And I think this card, which I started to talk about, when it talks about people, it's about a division that's occurred that's permanent. These two people aren't gonna come back together. I don't think it's about splitting up with a person. I mean, you may be involved with a toxic person who maybe kind of supports your habit. You know, maybe they indulge the same way you do, in whatever sense that is. But it's about breaking yourself off from that and never looking back. Yep, the Two of Spades is a permanent split, a permanent disconnection. That's the word I was looking for, disconnection. I think I'm going to stop it there. I mean, it started off as a kind of not real clear as far as a intense message, but I think we ended up with an intense message here, and I think you would agree. Some changes definitely need to happen in your lifestyle to be in this. This is the relief, the stress relief mode, and it's about you worried about not taking care of yourself, and you're not. I think it's pretty obvious, whoever this is speaking to, it's about you haven't been taking care of yourself. Yeah, and you need to part ways with whatever has been contributing to that. I think it has a lot to do with overwork. You're fighting it. You're fighting it. But the changes that are going to come, you have to have faith. They're going to put you in a better place, put you on a better path. Okay? I'm going to end it there. Hope this was helpful. I think you have the strength and you can do this, whatever needs to happen. If you would like to see when the next reading comes out, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications. I also want to mention if I've had a couple people donate through Buy Me a Coffee or tea. There's a link in the description box. You paste that into your browser if you would like to make a donation. Because I'm unable to monetize this channel. There's no way I'm doing readings for my own profit right now, and it's not that I need it, but if you want to show appreciation, that's one way you can do it. I would certainly appreciate it, because I do spend probably a good 20 hours a month putting out these readings, and I do enjoy them. But you know, it just helps. I do work 40 hours a week myself, sometimes more. And anyway, hang in there, Scorpio. I hope to see you again, and take care until I do.